Okay, so I'm going to give my recommendations on speaking in tongues. This is a video that introduces it.
Is, of course, the phenomenon known as speaking in tongues. And to outsiders, it's gibberish. But to believers, it's God's gift to chosen followers. And in fact, it's said in the Bible that all the apostles had this strange verbal rapture. Well, here's what we've been told about speaking in tongues, that this is a gift that can come to you suddenly, that the words are prayer in its purest form, like a current running through you straight from heaven, and hundreds of millions are joining in. Dr. Nancy Snyderman set out to learn more about this, beginning with a pastor of a huge congregation in Florida, who says his gift is also his armor.
Okay, so 1 Corinthians 14 is the main verse that talks about speaking in tongues. They say, I guess they had a big problem with nobody understanding, and they said it's better to say 5 words you can understand than 10,000 that you can't. And I thank God that I speak in tongues more than all of you, but in the church I would rather speak 5 intelligible words to instruct others than 10,000 words in a tongue. Well, as a matter of fact, when you speak in tongues, you try to write the first word that pops into your head. What we're going to do is write a little program. Let's start off with 10 words. Write down the first word that pops into your head. Hen. What? So just say the first word that pops into your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we start with 10 words. And when we press a key, it picks a word. Using a timer value that's much too fast for your brain. Bed done, head, hen, fine head. Bed done sounds like making up your bed. Anyway, so this is how I recommend doing tongues. Just write down the first word that pops into your head, and we're doing tongues 2 different ways. So now, oh no! So now we're channeling Satan. So how do you control what spirit? I don't know. In the Catholic Bible it says, so with yourselves, since you strive eagerly for spirits, seek to have an abundance of them for the building up of the church. So there's something called discerning spirits. 12. Now to one is given a spirit of message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith, to another gifts of healing by one Spirit, to another miraculous powers, to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits, to another speaking in different kinds of tongues. So apparently, don't be a pussy. Maybe you do channel Satan, but why don't you just keep your head on straight and discern spirit? So it sounds like Satan. It must be Satan. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I think we're at 25. So if it sounds like Satan, just keep your head on straight. Window chili. Satan channel, spirit window that I'm dead. Window to chili, silly, willy chili channel, bed, chili channel, Satan done. So he said he's done. Okay, so so that'll get you going. So if you want to begin as a beginner at spirituality, write a program, enter the first word that pops into your head, and then pick from it with a high-speed timer. Or you can even, okay, so the critical point is in the Bible they did offerings, and so what you have to do is do an offering, like make a hymn or make a poem, or I do comics. So this is about Moses in the desert. So let's see if I can do a comic. Actually, as a matter of fact, you know what? I forget it. You know, they talk about sheets being ghosts. You know what? What the heck? Anyway, oh, that's right. Okay. They talk about sheets being ghosts. Anything random that Moses talked to a flame, and I think if you invent a language like left is A, right is B, double left is A or C. If you invent a language, then you can communicate, and that's how an 8-ball works. You know, what is it? Golden 8 ball. What is that? The magic 8-ball. Now, the reason those don't work very well, first of all, you have to do an offering to establish a context. Second of all, just for practical reasons, okay, let's do a Ouija board. How about that? So we'll comment that out. So we'll say %C. And then we'll say I modulo 26 plus A. Now it's going to be a Ouija board. So every time I press the key, yeah, that wasn't what I expected, but that's good enough. Heavium. Sure. So Ouija boards just don't work for technical reasons. The first thing is you have to do an offering. St. Paul said, I'd rather speak 5 words intelligible than 10,000 in a tongue. Why don't you just speak in English then, you stupid? Speak in English. It's a lot better. So if you speak in tongues, speak in English. Just say the first word that pops into your head. It's really embarrassing to do it in public. That might have some of the, that might be where some of the magic comes from, the embarrassment of doing it in public. Generally, if you do something, if you suffer, you get blessed. And so if you suffer the embarrassment of speaking in tongues, then it causes a blessing. Ouija boards just don't really work for technical reasons. Don't ask yes or no questions. I think everyone would come to that conclusion. But so let's see if. So Ouija boards don't work for technical reasons, just the same as speaking in tongues in the nonsense tongue doesn't really work. You got speak in English, and if you get Satan, just change the channel and keep your head on straight. I don't know. I guess it's no joke. I don't know. Maybe it's a joke. Anyway, it's not like you're going to go kill somebody. Anyway. By the way, in the Bible, there's a chapter where everybody knows that Abraham almost killed his son, right? Everybody knows that Abraham almost killed his son Isaac. But did you know that in the previous chapter, Abraham almost killed his other son? So let me be clear. Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne to him, Abraham mocking. Wherefore stood Abraham, cast out this bond. His wife told him to get rid of the other son. And so Abraham went out and and she went over, sat down against a good way off, as it were a bow shot. And she said, let not me see the death of the child. So she sat against him. So clearly, Abraham almost killed Ishmael, his slave son, to make his wife happy. It was actually punishment when God asked Abraham to kill his other son. So if we go down a ways, then you'll see where God asked him to bind his son or kill his son. So if you start at the bow shot chapter, I think it's the very next chapter where here I am, my son. There's a lamb for a burnt offering. So take thy son, thine own son, the only son whom thou lovest, and offer him. So basically, God can be trusted. Even God can say crazy. If God's angry at you, as a matter of fact, to the Psalm 18. To the pure you show yourself pure, to the devious you show yourself shrewd. You save the humble. Okay. So in some translations it says, to the honest you are honest. So you might ask, where in the Bible has God ever lied? Numbers 11, he tells them, they beg for meat. He says, fine, I'll